Welcome to the second round after winning the first round, obviously. If you haven't watched those videos, you can find them in the links below. Guy says hello, good luck, let's do the same. And even though our hand isn't that good, I think we'll keep it in the first game. On the draw, he also keeps, so our Weathered Wayfarer is actually active. And if he is a slow deck himself, the Weathered Wayfarer will give us some kind of advantage just in mana base, and we draw a Hero of Bladehold, which is a really strong card. Turn 4 Hero into turn 5 Ajani wouldn't be bad. He's playing black though, so what does that mean? The other guy was the black aggro deck but didn't seem to have that much removal. So this guy could have it all. I also noticed while talking that I say a lot. That's mostly because I have to think about what I'm saying, and you don't want any kind of pause in your conversation. Seeing as it's not my main language, I try to fill it up with it's because just after I said it, I did it. It's not that easy to keep a conversation going while talking to nobody. You basically have no feedback. At this point I basically have no viewers. I'm just building content, still trying to do my best though, and learning. That's what I am doing this for mostly, and of course to entertain you people, for as few as you are. So he's blue-black, no action though, but he's thinking about something. He probably has some kind of play or a mana leak open. I have no clue why he would pause here. So what blue cards did we see that he passed? The Cryptologist, but that's a 1-drop, so if he didn't have an island, he couldn't have played it turn 1, else he would have. He plays Demonic Tutor. Just turn 2 blind Demonic Tutor. That's fine for me. This is curious though. Either he has turn 3 Show and Tell into a big baddie, or he has the need for land drop, which is basically my idea. Now, what I find odd is why would you do it now in both of these occasions? At least he paused for a while. He paused for like half a minute. If he had already the Show and Tell or the big baddie and he knew it was in his deck, that was quite the obvious play. So I'm putting on not having the land drop, and because of the Weathered Wayfarer, he's scared that I'll get a wasteland and then kill him with it. Seeing here what he's playing, I think I want a sort of Body and Mind over the Batterskull, even though the Batterskull is a creature on its own. Let's think about this. Yeah, let's pick up the Batterskull. It's just a stronger card, and I have then to do something with my turn 3. Yeah, we will attack with this 3 damage. Why not? So yeah, I think he went to get land and was scared that I had Strip Mine and get Strip Mine with Weathered Wayfarer on my turn, and then he couldn't cast the Demonic Tutor on his second turn if he missed the land drop, which is the only reason I would think about him pausing for that long and then playing the Demonic Tutor. If it was a broken play, he would have done it anyway and wouldn't have paused that long for it. So the pause makes me think that that's the only reason that he thinks about it. And the fact that he does think about it that long, so he's Reanimator, I think. And the fact that he does think about it that long indicates to me that he's actually a decent player. Let's get an island and get it out there. So now we can play the Batterskull, so we don't actually care about the Una's Power hitting us. So I think he's just digging for lands, that he's missing land traps, which I'm happy about, of course. Don't get me wrong. So I think I want to play Batterskull and then the Ajani and pump everything and just start smashing. Hero of Bladehold is obviously stronger, but it plays into his cards more. And then if he has some kind of wipe, I have the Raviark to get back both cards if I want to. I have the Blade Hold or the Baneslayer just to play something. Now the issue with playing Ajani and minusing it is the Unas, but I can always discard a land for it, or whatever I draw, to then lower it, and it's a wasted attack for him. I still have the Ajani. So yeah, he's Reanimator, and he gets a Griselbrand. This is gonna be a hard matchup for me, especially if it does something like that. Yeah. So 1-1 doesn't matter. No. End of turn. Use this. This has protection from demons? Yeah. So drop the Battle Skull. Okay. Now the fact that he draws an insane amount of cards is really annoying though. So what to do here, play the hero, and then we can start smashing him, I think. On the next turn, even though he goes up, I think playing the hero here has to be the play. And then next turn the Baneslayer, it has also protection from just demons and dragons. Okay, so it actually stops the Griselbrand, but he gets a bunch of free cards. This card is really broken in my opinion. I don't think it should exist. I don't think it should ever be printed, especially not without a type ability. It dominates Legacy, in Sneaky Show, in just Show and Tell decks. In Reanimator it used to dominate until they of course printed Deathright Shaman, which totally screwed Reanimator. So yeah, no blockers here obviously. And he doesn't do anything. So I can't activate this. I can play Ajani, which gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's just attack with everything here and see what he does. So this has the resolve last, yeah. He probably has some kind of counterspell though. So I also have other options. I can play Restoration Agent and block, but I think neither of those are fine. I think playing the Baneslayer here is the correct play. And even if he has a counterspell, I'm still not dead. So he has Factor Fiction, yeah. And you basically hit nothing. So you can either have a Colonnade or 3 lands. Now, a Colonnade and a Cryptologist and 3 lands. I think this is correct. So he has to choose between red mana, so apparently he also plays red. What could he have that's red? I have no clue. So let's split it like that, and let's see what he picks. Oh, I think he wanted a Force of Will. He plays Force of Will, I guess. So we still can draw 7 extra cards after this. And get a Force. But even then it doesn't win in the game, yo. But drawing 7 cards is really, really, really good. So next turn I think my play is, depending on what he does of course, with his 5 mana that he will have. So he picks the Clifftop Retreat. So he picks the 3 lands. Right? Yeah, he picked the 3 lands, so he dumped the Cryptologist and the Colonnade. So he wanted the red mana I think then. What else would you do this for? So next turn I can just play a Ajani, give this Vigilance and attack. and seeing that it didn't have the counter for this. So it will draw 7 cards. So he has to find an out to the Baneslayer here. And even if it does, and he attacks. Really? But it does protection from dragons, so... Oh, yeah. Oh, he has Living Dead. Really? That would be horrendous. I think he does. There's no other reason why you would discard this much. Yeah. So yeah, that's... Wait, why didn't the Shikishima come back? Why didn't the Sakashima come back? So yeah, that's lethal. Let's just concede and not be an ass about this. So what do we want in? We obviously want the Oust in. We want the Celestial Flare in. We want the Day of Judgment in. Basically want creature removal at this point. We might want Radiant Riders just to bounce these reanimated targets. Reanimation targets. Probably don't want Sword of Body and Mind. We do want some kind of really good cards. Don't think the Ranger is good enough. Even though it gets cards, of course. And I don't think the Weather's Wayfarer is good enough. But it fixes, so let's keep it in. We want some of these bigger cards gone, but which one? Restoration Angel is good with some of these cards and to save some stuff. Even though it doesn't have that much of a... And then the Flicker Wisp is probably not something I want here. I probably want one of these as well. As it could have Animate Dead and the other one, so we'll bring in both, depending what we can side out. Maybe just one and remove the Ajani. We could also remove the Stoneforge and the Weather Skull, as that is against another kind of deck, but I think we want a Sword of Body and Mind over the Weather Skull then. Why though? I mean, why do we want a Sword of Body and Mind over the Weather Skull? Do we really want them in there? I think that's the question. Wouldn't this be better? I mean, it's really strong, but it's strong enough against a deck like his. I think it is. Even both of them. So we still need to cut 3 cards and we have 44 seconds. So if we remove these 2 and then remove either the Sword or the Better Skull or the Spectral Procession. Yeah, let's do it like that. I will play first and I will not mulligan this. So the Celestial Flare is an out against the reanimated targets. I have turn 3 Mentor of the Meek, turn 4 Dungeon Guys, maybe, depending on the lands I draw. It's a bit of a loose keep though, but hey, what else can I do, right? I need to find the discard outlet yet again. If he has Una's Prowler once more, that's a bit annoying. He has Night's Whispers, so we can discard like that because he has 1 card too much. Which he will, and he probably will discard the card he wants. So yeah, this is something why Sword of Body Might isn't that good, because even if I keep it and start attacking, it doesn't give the protection from the color that I need it to be. Oh, it just discards Scalding Tarn. Whoa, that's cool. So it doesn't have a reanimation, or he has Show and Tell. And if in case he has Show and Tell, I obviously drop Dungeon Geist. So the Sword of Body Mind isn't that great, because even if I cast Sword of Body Mind, it will fill up his graveyard, which is a bit annoying. So next turn, if I draw land, I can invoke this and draw 3 cards of it to the Mentor of the Meek. If I lose against this deck, I'm fine with it. I mean, Reanimator is a high risk, high reward. It's really tough to build, because you need certain cards. You obviously need reanimation spells, you need big baddies. Not the big baddies isn't that hard, so he gets Demonic Tutor yet again. But you need some kind of tutor, some kind of card draw, some kind of discard, some kind of removal. It's really hard to play, to draft that deck. If you can pull it off, it's really great, of course. If you can't pull it off, it's terrible. So let's cast this with Evoke. Yeah, it doesn't matter, because I do not have land. I do now, but I didn't. No. Let's play land and then attack. So basically, if he now has the Exome, we can Mold Drifter again into play, and then either play the Dungeon Geist or Fate's Feathers. I think the Fate's Feathers obviously is better, because he doesn't allow him to draw a lot of more extra cards, but the Dungeon Geist is also a valid option, seeing as it locks down, and then I can actually draw 3 cards from this. Wow. We have the Oust as well. So I think here the Dungeon Geist is a better play. As it keeps it tapped down, and it allows us to provide extra clock. And we still have the Oust open. And then we have to discard, so we'll discard a land here. So we can draw 7 cards, but then he has to find something or it's dead. And even if he draws 7 cards, finds remove for the Dungeon Geist, he's still dead. So evoking the Mold Drifter and then him only having Exhume, which is the only reanimation spell I saw from him, so we might not have anything else. So we found something, I guess. Well, he's not dead yet, so... this isn't actually that easy. I can either keep the Sword of Body in mind and then hit him, but then he mills, and I don't think the 2 extra damage is worth it. Neither is the token that I will get in the card draw of it, while I can keep over Celestial Flare and Oust. So I think those are the better options. So let's just declare attack here and see what he has. So he has nothing. He can end of turn remove the Dungeon Geist, and then I have Celestial Flare open. But yet again, he doesn't have it. He can have Living Dead, just to remove everything, which he will have. In that case, I will evoke the Reverk. Oh, so everything -3, okay. And then that obviously stays in there. So I think we asked it. It gains him 3 life. And what then? We just play Reviarch. We can just play Reviarch now, and then yeah, we'll just cast Reviarch if he attacks with it. We get back the Mentor of the Meek and the Mold Drifter, If he has some kind of trick, we still have the Celestial Flare open. Or we can just cast Celestial Flare, force him to sacrifice this. He can't draw cards, so he has to have an answer. And then even if he does have an answer for the Celestial Flare, we can block with the Reviar, get back 2 creatures, draw an extra 2 cards, and he's then at 8, but lost his Griselbrand. He's then at 6 due to the Sword of Body and Mind and almost dead. So yeah, I think I need to sideboard out the Sword of Body and Mind though, because leaving that with Sword of Body and Mind, not that great. It's still close though, so what did he use to... Oh yeah, Blackstone's unit. So we'll declare attackers with it. Or he won't. It's up to him, of course. I will just attack then and play the Celestial Flare when it blocks, of course. I'm not gonna trade these. So first, let's play Celestial Flare. And then in this case, if he has Living Death, that's fine for me, because I have the Fate's Feathers to kill the Griselbrand or the Oust. And I get back 7 power anyway with the Dungeon Geist as well. He only has the 1 Griselbrand there. So he's at 4 here. And he needs to have an answer for this. So do we want to Sword of Body and Mind? If we connect, it's lethal anyway, unless he has a blue spell, and I don't see any reason why not to play this. It just gives him more information, it gives me more information. Don't think I'll actually keep it, will I? Just see what he does. He says counter target spell, tap all creatures open controls. Okay. So in this case, I'll probably play a Hero Bleedhold. Then pass the turn. So now he has to have removal for both of these, and if he has removal for both of these. So again, that was an error though. Playing the Sword of Body and Mind before attacking. Only Cryptic Command punishes me, but he had it, so. I still have 2 removal, Oust and a Fate's Feather. And a Reviar if it dies. It's still a good card, because it brings back 2 cards where I will draw 3 cards with. He plays Colonnade and Blood Crypt. I'm curious what he splashes for. Probably to play Chroma and the Bogarden and Hellkite Hardcast, but then he needs more figs than these, doesn't he? Yeah, so that game is over. Back to Converted Mana, get out the sword, bring in... What do we bring in though? The Flicker Wisp, it's a flyer. It doesn't do anything though. The Ajani for a splash. What if we remove blue and then play the Ajani? And it taps down something. Does that give me more removal? No, it doesn't. What if we bring the Force Spike? I think we want to have as much creatures as we can. But I'm not sure which I want. Curse Catcher is fine, Force Spike is also fine, to be honest. It slows him down, he has to play around it. But blue isn't something I actually want to do. Ajani provides a faster plug, but that's about it. So I think Force Spike is just the better card here. Yeah, let's pick Force Spike over Curse Catcher, as it's more tricky. So yeah, we're keeping this. We have the Day of Judgment. and we have the Weathered Wayfarer to find some lands. So we can Day of Judgment whatever he reanimates at this point, and we have the Weathered Wayfarer on the draw to find us some blue mana. He keeps his hand, as do I at this point. He has turn 1 preordain, which is fine. This is quite a challenging round. He puts one on the bottom and one on the top. So he kept one of the 2 cards. That's not a card I want to see at this point, but hey, it's there. So we'll see what he does now. If he has an Una again, it's quite annoying. So he has a Cryptologist. He kept the Cryptologist? Oh. Okay. So we'll use this. Get an island, play it. And he can keep on drawing cards with the Cryptologist, of course. So yeah, he does have it, and it's a great card for Reanimator. And I think I picked Curse Catcher or something over it, which I didn't even bring in here. So yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So we discarded an island. Interesting. So we'll use this again. Just some deck thinning. Because at this point I actually have to discard myself. And I think I will discard the Reveillark in case he plays Exhume. Do I want to do that? No, I don't at this point. So when does it do extra? So 3+, which he can get to this turn and just start drawing extra cards, but I think he wants to keep it as a discard outlet. Which I would do, I would keep it as a discard outlet. The problem with Griselbrand is if he so he has Vampiric Tutor, he will get Griselbrand. The problem with Griselbrand isn't that the card is too strong. The issue with Griselbrand is that even if you have an answer to it, it's too late. The only answer you can ever have against the Griselbrand is a counterspell. That's it. That's the only answer you can ever have against it. And that's what's too annoying for me. So here I will play Tradewind Rider. It's not the best play, but I think it's better to stop any kind of reanimation from him in the future. It doesn't apply any pressure, but let's say I play end of turn Restoration Angel, get back Weathered Wayfarer, and then just start bouncing stuff from him. I wonder what he Vampiric Tutored for though. Because he drew it with Cryptologist. So it, oh, there is the Griselbrand. So we had it, but why didn't he do it before then? So we're just leveling it here. This is getting odd. So I don't think he wants to reanimate because of the Tradewind Rider. So here I will pay 1, get myself another plane, cast a plane, and pass the turn. And then in case he has some kind of reanimation, I can play end of turn Restoration Angel. So end of turn Restoration Angel bounce whatever I want to bounce. And he can have Living Dead somewhere. So just an island yet again. So it does have the Exhume, yeah, that's fine. Oh wait, I should have done it in response, obviously. But even now we'll see what he does. So he does pass the turn, I think. So we'll cast Restoration Angel here. Untap the Weathered Wayfarer and then Radiant Rider the Griselbrand. So this does this. Yeah, obviously. And then we bounce this. So he will be drawing extra cards, obviously. And then he has to discard again. He's only at 16 cards, so sub him here wouldn't be that bad. But I think he has Living End yet again. In that case he gets Griselbrand, Bogard and Hellkite. Probably insane amount of creatures. So what do I want to do about it? I have the Day of Judgment. I can also bounce one of my own creatures if I do not attack. So that's it. Okay. This is annoying. I think I have to attack with at least a Restoration Angel. Play the hero because I have no sorcery instance. So let's attack this. And he's probably has Living End. But then I can save one creature anyway with a Radiant Rider. There's no point in not doing anything at this point, is there? What do I want to save though? I think I want to save the hero because it provides the fastest clock. And I can get these two back with Evoking the Reveillark. So he has Demonic Tutor for something. Probably a land, then play Cryptic. Or what else can he have? Yeah, Dark Ritual, that's fine. Oh, I see. So now he plays Living End. Yeah. What else do you have that you want in your graveyard, man? So I think he played Demonic Tutor for the Living End. I think that's the obvious one. And then had the Dark Ritual in his hand from the Dark from Griselbrand to then cast it. Which will get back the Griselbrand, which can draw 7 cards, and the Bogard and Hellkite. And he discarded the Buried Alive. So here comes Living End, I think. Yeah, in response I will bounce. Hero actually is the fastest, isn't it? And I can't play... Oh, wait a second. Does he have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? No. So I have to bounce something. What do I want to bounce here? He can probably fetch... So yeah, we bounce Restoration Angel, I think, because it can get do the trick with the Reveillark. So then that comes into play. Yeah, that's fine. Could also have bounced the Scalding Tarn, which would force him to sacrifice it or either take it back into his hand, and then if he sacrificed it, he couldn't draw 7 cards from Griselbrand, which was also an option, of course. That's a great draw. So we play Day of Judgment here, and then play a Geist. And now it's his turn to do something yet again. think these are the only reanimation spells I ever saw from him, so he might not have any more. If he does though, it's gonna be a nuisance. Because basically at this point he has the cards he wants. Or at least he should have. And I have no removal, so I need to draw some. 4 mana, what can he cast for 4 mana? I'm just thinking about it. What is there in deck like this? That's 4 mana and good. So yeah, fine. Black Sun Zenith for 2. If that is all he can muster, I'm happy. So, because basically I'm now casting Reviarch. Which he can block eventually with a Celestial Colonnade, but and then if I Restoration Angel it, I can get back Trade-Wind Riders and Geist. And that should be game, no matter what kind of reanimation spell he has. So he has Necromancy, yeah, fine. You get back Griselbrand, yeah, fine. I hope I sideboarded in the hate, the artifact. He can get Bogard and Hellkite and remove the Reviarch, which will get back Geist and Trade-Wind Riders. It's targeting Griselbrand, obviously. So if this dies, yeah, the creature dies, fine. So the obvious play here for me is blocking and then flashing in Restoration Angel, hoping he doesn't have the Cryptic commands, which he probably does. But then even if this dies, I have plenty of options. Johnny doesn't do anything at this point, so let's just play the Better Skull. Because that will give me the Trade-Wind Riders no matter what, even if he has the even if he has Cryptic Command during his own turn. I'm curious what he's planning on doing here. Wow, this is really a tough game and quite exciting, and he only has 2 minutes. I obviously didn't notice yet, and I'm not gonna play for it, of course, because this game is really fun. It's a long game though, so yeah, I think he has something, but what can he have? So he sacrifices it. Yeah, he has a Cryptic Command, and we'll just tap down everything, I think. He goes down to 5, play Cryptic, tap all my creatures. Oh, he has Gifts Ungiven. He has Unburial Rites, which he can flashback for Bogard and Hellkite. So this should go to the graveyard, 100%. I don't want to give him 2 reanimation spells, obviously, so that's why the splash for. So we will go up to 12. He can also get a Chroma. Eleshnorn. That's annoying. So what does that do against me? Enough, right? So I want to give him a Ledge in his hand because I don't think he has 2 white. And Unburial Rites in the graveyard. And then he either has to cast Elesh or cast Unburial Rites, and he can't cast Unburial Rites on Elesh. He can also only get 2 cards, obviously, and get both in the graveyard. That's up to him. So this goes into, yeah, he basically That's the trick with Gives a Given. You can search up to 4 different cards with different names, and because it's different names, you can say, well, I only have 2 cards. And so that allows him to do stuff like that, just get 2 cards and make that play. So now he has to flashback on Burial Rites and either get Elesh or Begarden Hellkite. He's targeting Elesh Norn, which is fine. He can't cast the Cryptic at this point unless he has land. If he has another reanimation, I'm pretty screwed. So he attacks. What else do I have? So it's just Geist and Trade Wind Riders. Yeah, okay. So it's declare blockers. Okay. And then play the Angel, which will then target the Reviarch. Okay, yeah, I do wish to use the ability. I will get back Trade Wind Riders and Geist, but the Geist will die. Okay. So here we have a Baneslayer and an Ajani. So play the Baneslayer Angel, play the Ajani, give all my creatures +1/+1, and these two has flying, so if I bounce this, it's lethal, right? So yeah, it is lethal. And we won round 2, very close game. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the finals.